Alright guys, hope you're well. So, we're going to be making some mango wine today because I really want to try some mango wine. I've never actually had mango wine before. I mean, who hasn't had mango wine? So, we're going to be making some today, and it's going to be a quick, easy drinking recipe, which means as soon as it's done, it's good to drink. Oh yes, this is because it's going to be a sweet wine because I want to make sure I've got those mango notes in there. Basically, alcoholic mango juice. Sounds pretty good to me. So what we're going to need for this is 2 kilos of mangoes. Mango is a bit of a delicate flavor, so the more mango you add, the better it's going to be. Now, if I was going to be using a demijohn, like such as this one here, would have to add some steeping time in there, because having bits inside your demijohn, it normally ends in disaster, puking, and we don't want that. So we're going to be doing an on the pope fermentation, which means we're going to be using a brew bucket. Oh yeah, like this one. Which means it's going to be in contact with the fruit the whole way through the fermentation. Means there's going to be a bit more crud in the bottom, but we're going to get the best flavor we can from these lovely mangoes. So that being said, let's make some mango wine. I'm looking forward to this one. So, to start off with, nothing needs to be sterilized, it just needs to be clean, because that's cool. Plus we're going to be boiling, because we want to break down these mango chunks. The freezing has done a lot of the work for us, but still it's going to be, we want it pulverized and pulped. So, we're going to add some heat to it. So I'm just going to go through and open up these bags of mango chunks. Oh. Come on, mangoes. And got these lovely, slightly less than 2 kilos of mangoes. That's really good. Pulpy. Anyway, just going to chuck these in. And yeah, I'm just going to continue until I've added in all of my mangoes. So all of our mango is now inside the pan. I've cleaned everything away. It's so easy when you're using frozen stuff because it's done, cleared, beautiful. So like I said, nothing needs to be sterilized currently, and I will be using a wooden spoon. Some people say you shouldn't use a wooden spoon, but we're going to be scorching this. It's going to be boiled, so it's perfectly fine. If you don't want to use a wooden spoon, don't. That's just how it goes. So I've got 2 liters of boiling water. Now I'm using only 2 liters to break down these chunks, into basically a puree, because then I can add cold water and it makes the process a lot quicker with pitching. So in goes my boiling water. And now I'm just going to turn this on, and we're going to heat it through and break down all these bits. Oh yes, so this will probably take a few minutes. So it's now been on the heat for about 5 minutes now, and I've just been going through, stirring it and just beating up the bits of mango. And more or less, I mean, some of them are a little bit chunky, some of the bits that weren't perfectly ripe are still mostly solid, but they are softening up now. So I'm just going to go through and heat it up. Now if I had a stick blender, because I used to, but I broke it, I would go through and blitz this down. It would make the process a lot quicker. Without it, I have to heat this slowly. It's no big deal. You can do it with or without. So we're just going to carry on. So our mango has been slowly simmering away now for about 15 minutes. And it's looking pretty broken up, to be fair. Not as much as a blender, but good enough. That's just how we roll. So we can turn this off now because we're done with the heating. It's definitely sterilized. The vast majority of the mango has been pulverized into little bits, and it smells really good. So what we're going to do now is add in our sugar. So I just got a kilo of white sugar, which is cool, and then we're going to dump it in. Now, as a general rule, just as a general thing as we go, I don't usually count the sugar inside the fruit. it can be a bit fiddly. There's no way to exactly know the sugar amount, but I am expecting this to be about 12%. I actually sat down and worked out how much sugar is approximately in this mango. It works out as 12 grams per 100 grams, so that's an extra 240 grams of sugar that I'm adding in with my kilo. So should be good. But I'm only including around 11%, so we shall see. So mixing in the sugar while it's nice and hot, it dissolves a lot easier. There we go. Well, that definitely smells good now. Right. So in the meantime, I've gone ahead and I've sterilized my brew bucket and also the hydrometer. I used thin bleach and washing up liquid and then rinsed it until it doesn't smell of bleach anymore, because, well, you don't want bleach in your booze. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to leave this to cool down for about 20 minutes because I'm going to put it in my sink, otherwise known as a cold water bath. And we'll be right back. So our sugar has been added in. It is now cold and almost good to go. So I've got my brew bucket already set up. Now we only added in 2 liters of water into our mango pulp. So I have another 3 liters inside my kettle that I'm going to be adding to this to make up to the 5 liter mark. So just check out my lovely sterile bucket. It smells clean but not bleachy. So there's my stirring spoon, very important. So in goes the mango and the pulp, put it straight in. Look at that color. I mean, it's not quite as smooth as I would like it to be, but all of the mango that is ripe is given over its flavor. Oh, it smells really good. So I'm going to use the cold water to rinse out the pan. Don't want to waste any, do we? Since we've gone to all that effort. Give it a swirl. And apart from the bit I spilt on the side, good to go. So let's just add in a bit more water. That's going to look, hopefully it's going to taste as good as it looks. So give it a good stir. Gives it a little bit of aeration. You don't need to go nutty on aeration. I know people love aerating for hours. You don't need to bother. So we've got a couple of additions to add into our mango juice. So first is yeast nutrient. You're going to need it. We want a good, clean fermentation. So approximately a spoonful, if it's a teaspoon and a half, such as that. Whoops. It doesn't really matter. I've never known it to cause any problems whatsoever. So give that a good stir. Want to make sure it's all tasty. Now this one is optional. You don't have to add it in, but it's a good idea to do it, which is pectolase. Pectolase is a clearing enzyme. It gets rid of the pectin haze, makes it clearer, and it also extracts just that little bit more flavor from the mangoes because it breaks down some of the mango juice. So again, roughly just add in a teaspoon-ish, like so, and just sprinkle that in and give it a good mix around. Now pectolase is a bit funny when it comes to temperature because it is an enzyme, so make sure it's under 20 degrees or 20 degrees. There we go. But this is looking really good, and hopefully we're going to end up with a nice clear wine. That's the idea. So I didn't think about this. My hydrometer, which has been sterilized and just kept in fresh water, isn't going to go all the way down, so I need my little tubey thing. Where's my tubey thing? So I've got my tubey thing. Really handy. Had to quickly sterilize it because I didn't know I was going to need it. So I'm just going to, since it's all mixed up, I can just take some of the liquid off the top. And let's see what it reads on the old hydrometer. Just give it a minute to do its thing. It looks really nice. So the wine has settled out and it is reading 12% on the hydrometer if it ferments to dryness. And I'm kind of expecting it to. So that gives us potential alcohol of 1.076. There we go. 1.076 on the hydrometer, approximately 12% if it ferments to dryness. So pop this out. It looks good. Cheers. Wow, that tastes like sweet mango. Very nice. So the flavors are going to get a bit stronger the longer it's in here, and since it's going to be fermenting on the pulp all the way through, should have a very nice, tasty mango wine. So the yeast that I'm going to be using in this batch is just Gervin's Universal Wine Yeast. Doesn't matter which brand you get, Universal is universal. So it's just a case of, once I get in there, opening it up and just pouring a little bit on the top, like so, since it's being funny. Oh, it's pinched there. That's why it was so difficult. And that's us done. So all I've got to do, stick the lid on and close it on 3 sides. So I'm going to stick this out the way and we'll be back in about a month's time where we should have some tasty mango wine. Should be good. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys, giving you some ideas for making some tasty mango wine. Ooh. So don't forget to check out some of the other videos and, well, subscribe if you feel like it. Carry on homebrewing. See you later.